All right, we are on air. Happy February. Oh, Greg, if you're talking, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're muted intentionally or not.
Talking to my brother, intentionally muted.
Okay.
You guys,
I could see your lips moving. I was like, oh no, that's not important. All right, so we're just gonna do a quick run through of our design agenda so you guys know what's going on in the world of design for Backdrop. First and highest priority on our list right now is working on our new backdropcms.org homepage. And we did get those final designs from Nika, our designer. She gave us a great background splash image. I feel like maybe I should put that in the issue queue somewhere so people can see it. But it's using lots of bright, pretty colors and not blue, which was the problem with the previous one. And she also gave us a little feedback on our general direction in terms of sticking to our brand and making sure that everything carried over from the current website to the new homepage. So I just checked out a new update of backdropcms.org, and I wanted to see if I could try and move that forward. I know when we had Wes working on it, we got a whole bunch of progress really fast, and he's been out all of this week, and I know he said he had a bunch of other stuff to work on, so I wanted to see if I could kind of pick up where he left off and get us closer to the finish line on that one. But if anyone else wants to help with theming, that's a good place to jump in. So next on the list, super exciting, we have set up a forum website. Right now, it's not necessarily done yet. We're still trying to decide on which direction to take architecturally, but you can look at it and take it for a spin at forum.backdropcms.org. Right now, it's just using the Basis theme, but it'll need to be switched to use our branding instead of Basis, the branding that's in Basis. And so I was thinking we could just take the new theme that we're working on backdropcms.org, the one that uses our new layouts, and drop that in and see what needs to be added. I think that'll be the fastest way to get that updated. And I can think of 3 things I know we're going to need to add, which is styling for the forum listing page, for the forum conversations, people are actually talking back and forth, and then we're going to have a bunch of flags that'll be indicating things like, I found this answer helpful, or this is spam, and it would be great to have those styled in some way that is a lot more useful than just the links that are on there by default. So we'll need someone with a design eye to kind of take a look at the forum and try and figure out how to make that the best experience for everyone. There's a bunch of stuff on backdropcms.org that we put up hastily because we wanted to have it up, but could probably use a review if we have any designers who are good at looking at things and giving them an improvement. And that includes the news section of our website, the events listing section, the service provider listing, and documentation pages. I think documentation pages are actually pretty good, but if somebody was doing a kind of a comprehensive design review, it might be good to look at them as well and make sure that everything there is looking and working as intended. That's all I have on backdropcms.org. There's obviously a bunch of work going on, which is fantastic. But we could use more people writing code. So if anyone, particularly front-enders, had time to contribute, I think that's kind of what we need most right now. So that's a good place for anyone to jump in. Related to outreach, we have a newsletter that's ready to go that should go out as soon as Backdrop 161 is released. We had our new partnership with Facet Interactive. They have volunteered to help us write the newsletters after each release, and then hopefully help us get another newsletter out between each release too. So in a perfect world, we'll have one every month. So the one for 161 is ready to go. So as soon as Backdrop 161 is out, we'll send the newsletter. It looks really good. It's based on our blog post, which also looks great. So that's ready to go. Other stuff, there's a bunch of issues in the backdropcms.org queue that are tagged with the label outreach. And anyone who wants to help us with outreach related stuff can browse through those issues. There's stuff like making business cards, making stickers, trying to figure out if we should advertise or not. There's a whole bunch of stuff we could use help with there. And then as far as Backdrop, the product itself, I don't think there are any design related issues that currently need attention, but we do have a tag in our issue queue that is audience design. So if anyone wants to look at design for Backdrop itself, there are a bunch in the queue, stuff like redesigning particular pages or I don't know, just various things that are non-urgent, but I don't think we have anything scheduled for 1.7. If somebody was super fascinated by design and wanted to help us make it prettier for 1.7, we could create some issues, some new issues, and see if those would be important enough to get stuffed in the 1.7 release. But I think right now the only major feature redesign that we're working on that would make sense for a release like 1.7 would be something like the field UI, which I know has been a pain point for us for a long time, and we really want to work on it. But yeah, it's gonna need a lot of love. Okay, so other than that, we do have kind of a bigger picture document we're working on. We're trying to create some human interface guidelines for Backdrop to help guide core developers and contributor developers alike in terms of what user interface elements should be used under which circumstances. So we have things like vertical tabs, and there are some general rules about when those should be used and when they shouldn't. It would be great if we could document that and give examples of those. And then there's a bunch of stuff that Drupal has kind of always done that we inherited from Drupal. So people who are familiar with Drupal know how to use elements. It would be great if we could kind of take a closer look at how those work and see if they're intuitive and make sense to people. These are things like the tabs, the like view, edit tabs you see on any node or any taxonomy term. Action links. So if you're on a page where it's like add another whatever, do those things make sense to people? Are they in the right place on the page? There's a bunch of stuff we could do to kind of clean up the positioning and experience of using the product if we gave those a harder look. So there are a couple of issues about those as well. So if anyone loves documenting things, we'd like to get all of that stuff written down. Of course, nobody we know now really loves documenting things. So instead, we're just trying to kind of work through the issue queue and see if we can get problems resolved, which is just as valuable. But I think having documentation would be great too. It'll help us figure out what to do with the problems. So we have issues 390 and 1306 around human interface guidelines, and issues in the Backdrop issue queue. If you're interested in user experience, they're all tagged with UX in the title. And that's it. So Gregory, I don't know why you're here today. If you have anything particular you wanted to bring up and talk about, but if so, we've got plenty of time.
Yeah, I know. Not anything in particular. I haven't been around for the last 3 weeks or so.
Okay.
No, I know Wes is busy as well. He mentioned that later. Do you have any links for those designs from or the images from Mika?
I can put them. I'll put them in the issue queue.
Yep.
Yeah, because I think they're in Dropbox. So I'll put a link to the Dropbox folder in the issue queue, and I'll make sure that everybody has access to it, because I think it might be a private Dropbox. But
okay, yeah. Thanks, appreciate that. Curiosity, just anxious to see what do they look like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll put a screenshot in too. That'll be helpful.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
There's a few things that I want to talk about. These are for the dev meeting, so
okay.
Nothing to do that.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this meeting then, and then I'll put those links up and ping you in Gitter when they're there, and then I'll see you again at the dev meeting.
Okay, yes.
Great. Thanks for coming.
Nice.